Welcome back, True Seeker. Got some instant analysis for the Jets blowing out the Lions 48-17. This morning, thought the Lions would win. I did say that if the Jets won, the prayer was the number 77. And I wish I thought a little bit deeper about it in light of this game coming on the eve of September 11th, as we talked about. Tomorrow, September 11th, the big talk in New York City is going to be Sam Darnold on the 17-year anniversary of the terrorist attacks. So, 77. Mentioned that in the preview video. That's his one prayer because his full name, Samuel Darnold, sums to 77. If you write out September 11th, it sums to 77. If you write out World Trade Center, it sums to 77. If you write out 77, it sums to 49. Just like Twin Towers is 49. Just like Samuel Darnold is also 49 in the base cipher. These numbers are the glue. That's why Ryan Fitzpatrick picked up his 49th career win 77 days from his birthday yesterday. Those numbers are like magnets. Also, with regards to 77 and September 11th, think about the darling in the NFL after the Patriot Act. Tom Brady of the Patriots, born in 77. Of course, United States equals 77. In Washington, D.C., the city on the 77th meridian with the 77-foot-tall Pentagon. Flight 77 struck the structure exactly 77 minutes after taking off, as reported in the 9/11 Commission report. They didn't put in the details about the 77th meridian and the building being 77 feet tall, or that construction started on the Pentagon September 11th, 1941. But they did mention that the plane, Flight 77, hit the building 77 minutes after taking off. So, the final score was 48-17, 17-year anniversary of 9/11. We talked about the significance of 48 before the game. Sam and MNF have Gematria 48, Monday Night Football. Mandorla, the shape of the football, has Gematria 48. Look at false flag, how it ties in here. 9/11 was a false flag. In case you're new here, you don't know the terminology of a false flag. It's when somebody does something to blame it on somebody else for a strategic objective, like what happened in this nation, taking away our rights, starting wars for bankers, building oil pipelines, increasing opium production in Afghanistan. It's how the world bankers control the world. Banking, war, drugs, period. New York Jets also have the Gematria 48. New York has the Gematria 33. We talked about all these things before the game. But we thought the number, or at least I did, the number that would decide the game was 68. Had the Jets lost tonight, the all-time record would have been 6-8 instead of 7-7. Darnold equals 68. 68 was a huge number for the Jets. They won their only Super Bowl in 68. With regards to 9/11, which we were looking at, I just didn't think about the 77 angle until hindsight, because 68 was a big number with 9/11 too. 911 made the national emergency dialing code that year. World Trade Center construction began. George W. Bush graduated from Yale in Skull and Bones. Space Odyssey 2001 came out that year. And again, the Jets won the Super Bowl. So, in case you missed my work on Sam Darnold's first career pass for another 68, it was an interception to Quandre Diggs. I want you to see that it was a 37-yard pick six, his first interception. First career pass, INT. Interception equals 68 like Darnold. So we were zeroed in on this number. Sam Darnold's the youngest person to start in the NFL in 68 years. The Lions came into the game with no 100-yard rushers for 68 consecutive games. We were rightfully looking at that game and assuming that would be the outcome of the records. But we see why they went 7-7. And I want you to understand, when you gamble, nothing's a sure bet. This knowledge gives you a major insight that you can't get anywhere else. You can always learn from your mistakes. But honestly, I'm telling you, 99 out of 100 times I would have picked this game in favor of the Lions, looking at what we were looking at. Tonight's one I was going to miss. The 77 riddle was there. I mentioned it, but it just seemed so slim compared to the 6-8. And with the Rams-Oakland game getting underway right now, again, if the Rams win tonight, the record will be 6-8, and that's what we're looking at. And that's still what I'm expecting. But something that I heard the announcing crew say As I say that, a Rams receiver drops a wide open pass. Anyway, what I just heard the announcing crew say is that if John Gruden wins tonight, so game one, it was all about Sam Darnold. If you watch, they're just talking about Sam Darnold all pregame, all game. Just before this game, it's all about John Gruden and his return and how he was in the Monday night booth last year. Things we talked about. But something I just heard him say is that if John Gruden wins tonight, he'll be the only new coach this year to have gotten a win, and the new coach's record for the week one will be 1-6 if Gruden wins. 1-6 is something like 16. 53 is the 16th prime. Big numbers this season. Super Bowl 53. We'll see. I'll be surprised if the Rams don't win this one. But anyway, just understand, these games are a perfect script. Sometimes you can be surprised by the outcome. Like I'm surprised with the Jets and the rookie QB. Sam Darnold also just became the first of that young QB list to win since 1950. Everyone had lost before, including Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was the youngest QB to start that's still active in the NFL, and of course Darnold plays against him. But it's probably a good sign for Jets, And, I mean, did you just see how ridiculous the game was anyway? But hold on, let's finish this idea. This 37-yard touchdown return, in case you missed this, look at this. It was intercepted by Quandre Diggs. This game on a 37-date numerology. Diggs 37, Quandre 37, Detroit 37, Pick 6 37, Samuel 37. His first pass, this guy that's paid tens of millions of dollars, runs to the one side of the field and throws back across his body all the way across the field right to the Lions quarterback. I mean, come on. Just such a joke. You don't even do that in Pee Wee football. But all part of the perfect script. So, Samuel Darnold, going to be the talk of the town on 9/11. And something else that I noticed is this is the Jets' 59th season, which is the 17th prime. Here we are on the 17-year anniversary of 9/11. Jets sacked Drew Bledsoe, which gave rise to Tom Brady. And with regards to Tom Brady and all this being a perfect script, look at the combined points, 65. Reminds me how the Red Sox beat Houston last night, Sunday Night Baseball, same day that Boston played Houston in the NFL, the Patriots, New England, Boston, whatever. And the game was 6-5, the Red Sox game, 6-5. Like how the Patriots can go 6-5 in Super Bowls this year. So live and learn, but I'm telling you, this one, even knowing everything we knew, there's no way I was going to pick against that 6-8 narrative. Something else that somebody did point out, and maybe I should have thought of earlier, and just so you know this as well, sacred geometry, the most important number to the gematria of sacred geometry is 68. Again, mathematics is 68. That's the number that's most relevant. That's also why they did all that stuff in 1968, planning for 9/11. But something I should have pointed out is that when you use the S exception, which adds 9 more, sacred geometry, becomes 77. So sacred geometry technically does have the 77 gematria as well. Sacred geometry, the most important shape is the Vesica Piscis, which again sums to 53. Most important of the base ciphers. Vesica Piscis 53, again, ending in Super Bowl 53 this year, 53-man roster, 53-yard wide field. Patriots got the 53 thing going on. Tom Brady 5-3 in Super Bowls. Boston Red Sox, which had the riddle on opening night, 53. So, anyway. We can see what they did. It was super ridiculous. Oh, it was ridiculous. Wasn't it just ridiculous to watch? I mean, just like Detroit didn't even try to tackle. I don't know. That's the thing that I don't get, is how people just do not see how rigged these games are. And I've said it a million times before. They really love to punk home crowds in prime time. And how often, if you watch the game tonight, I mean, the camera was just all over the Detroit fans and the really sad faces and people leaving early and, looking at each other, just looking like they're confused, like they don't understand what's going on, like why their team can't tackle the players that are just running right through them like they're not even there. people got to wake up to the scripts, you know. It was all downhill from the pick six for the Detroit fans. So we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.